Thank you and welcome again. I'll first read the notice of non-discrimination. So you are welcome to participate in this transportation planning process regardless of your race, color, national origin, including limited English proficiency, religion, creed, gender, ancestry, ethnicity, disability, age, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, veteran status or background. The meeting guidelines are as follows: that all participants will join this meeting with muted microphones. Please rename yourself to include your first name, last name, and affiliation. You may mute and unmute yourselves, but please always remain muted unless actively speaking. To participate in the discussion, you can select the raise hand function by clicking either on the participants button at the bottom of the screen, and a window will pop up with the raise hand button at the bottom, or the reactions button in the toolbar. And then the chair will call on participants. If you are calling in over the phone, you can use *9 to raise your hand. And if you have any technical difficulties, please contact Erin McGuire via the chat box, by email at emaguire@ctps.org, or by phone at 857-702-3681. I'll read the accessibility statement, which states that this meeting is accessible to people with disabilities and that Zoom products are compliant with exceptions with the following standards: Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.1, Level AA standards, and revised Section 508 standards. And if you require any additional accommodations in order to participate fully in this meeting, please contact Erin McGuire of MPO staff at emaguire@ctps.org, or by phone at 857-702-3681. Thank you. We'll now move on to introductions, and I'll call the roll here. So I am Derek Cravat, representing MassDOT's Office of Transportation Planning and chair of the UPWP committee. Move to MAPC.
Good afternoon, Eric Barassa with the Metropolitan Area Planning Council.
Great. Do we have anyone from the town of Arlington, at-large town seat? Anyone from City of Boston, Boston Transportation Department, the Metro West Region, City of Framingham? Don't see. SWAP region, town of Midway, City of Newton, at-large city.
Good afternoon. I'm David Kosis, representing Mayor Fuller and City of Newton.
Great. Hi, David. Town of Norwood, Trick subregion.
Yeah, hi, Tom O'Rourke from the town of Norwood, representing Trick subregion.
Great. Hi, Tom. And I see Steve here as well. If you want to do an introduction, Steve. I know that alternate though.
Steve Onoff, the Trick alternate.
Great. City of Somerville, Inner Core.
Good afternoon, Tom Bent, City of Somerville, representing Mayor Valentine in the Inner Core.
Thanks, Tom. And RTAC.
Higgins, Advisory Council here. Thanks.
All right, excellent. Welcome, everybody. I think that's all the members I see. So we do have a quorum, and with that, we'll move to next agenda item, which is public comments. Is there anyone present that would like to make a public comment at this time? Okay, I don't see any. So if you do have a comment at any point during the meeting, feel free to use the raise hand function or the chat box. You can also email Srilekha Murthy at smurthy@ctps.org. Move to the next item, which is an action item for the approval of the April 20th, 2023 meeting summary. Srilekha, did you want to say anything on this one or just ask for a vote?
No, I didn't have anything to say. Just ask for a vote.
Okay.
I'll make a chair to approve the meeting summary.
Eric, is there a second?
I'll second.
Tom Bent, I'll second it.
Okay, excellent. Motion having been made and seconded. Any comments or questions on the April 20th summary? All right, seeing none, I'll call the roll. Derek Cravat, OTP, yes. Eric Barassa.
Yes.
David Kosis.
David Kosis, yes.
Tom O'Rourke.
Yes.
Tom Bent.
Tom Bent, yes.
And Leonard Diggins.
Everything is yes.
All right, thanks everyone. That passes. We'll move on to the next item, which is another meeting summary. This one being the April 27th, 2023 meeting. I'll ask for a motion and second to approve those not some minutes, but the summary.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that, Tom Bent.
Excellent, thank you. Any questions or comments on the minutes from April 27th? All right, seeing none, I'll read the roll. Derek Cravat, I'll vote yes. Eric Barassa,
Yes.
David Kozis,
David Kozis, yes.
Tom O'Rourke,
Tom O'Rourke, yes.
Steve Olenoff. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Just reading down the list here. No need to vote Steve. We'll go to Tom Bent
Tom Bent, yes.
and Leonard Diggins.
Leonard Diggins, yes.
All right, excellent. That passes. So with that, we'll move on to our more substantive item here, the draft federal fiscal year 2024 Unified Planning Work Program. So I'll hand it over to Srilekha to present on this and discuss our next steps.
Thank you, Derek, and good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me, joining us at this UPWP committee meeting. Next slide, please, Erin. Today, I'll be presenting the draft federal fiscal year 2024 UPWP for your review. At the end of my presentation, I'll be requesting that you all vote to send this document to the MPO board, where I will then request that it be released for a 21-day public comment period. So this is going to be a pretty short overview presentation, and I just want to leave enough time to answer any questions or, excuse me, discuss any questions or concerns you all may have. This UPWP programs about $7.1 million between CTPS and MAPC, and across 18 programs supporting the MPO and 3C processes, 2 technical assistance programs, and 4 discrete studies. As in the previous year's UPWP, the goal of increasing funding to ongoing programs is to maintain staff's ability to respond quickly to evolving planning needs throughout the year. Some such programs include the Public Engagement Program, funded at $296,000, the Climate Resilience Program, funded at $76,000, and the Multimodal Mobility Infrastructure Program, which, if you may remember, is new as of FFY 2023, funded at $336,000. And each of these programs aim to push the MPO's work in their respective areas forward. Next slide, please. The UPWP also funds 4 discrete studies this year. They are Lab and Municipal Parking Phase 2 at $45,000, Parking and Bike Lanes at $20,000, Strategies for Environmental Outreach and Engagement at $25,000, and Applied Conveyor to Project Scoring, funded at $60,000. Thank you all for your input and guidance in choosing these studies. Next slide, please. So with that, I'm requesting that this committee vote to move this draft to the MPO board to request release for a public comment period. Looking ahead, I will be presenting this document on Thursday at the MPO meeting, and would hope to begin the public comment period on June 15th, and it would end on July 6th. I would then come back to this committee on July 13th to present the final document and request your endorsement, and finally request endorsement from the MPO board on July 20th. So with that, I just want to once again thank you all for your input and guidance through this development process, and I'm happy to answer any questions at this point. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Srilekha. Are there any questions for Srilekha on the draft UPWP? Is the documents available online? Is that correct in the meeting calendar
Yes, it is.
for CTPS? Okay. Thank you. So if anyone's interested in exploring in more depth and providing comments during the comment period, that's of course always an option as well.
I'll make a motion to approve and send it to the full MPO board.
Thanks, Eric.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, excellent. Motion having been made and seconded. Are there any other comments, questions, or objections? Seeing none, I will call the roll. Mass.otp, I will vote yes. Eric Barassa,
Eric Barassa, yes.
David Kozis,
David Kozis, yes.
Tom O'Rourke,
Tom O'Rourke, yes.
Tom Bent,
Tom Bennett, yes.
and Leonard Diggins.
Leonard Diggins, yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, everyone. So that passes, and we'll look forward to the presentation of the UPWP at the Boston MPO meeting on Thursday. I think that was our only major agenda item. So like I said last time, I think this can be a relatively quick meeting, but wanted to provide that opportunity and just, follow our normal process to make sure that we're recommending this to the MPO. But with that, we can move on to members' items. Are there any members' items that folks have today? All right, seeing none, we can move on to next meeting date. So like I see July 13th, is that anything on the horizon for that, or more just like a check-in for folks?
Yeah, so at the July 13th meeting, I'll be presenting the final draft of the UPWP and presenting any public comments that we've received during the comment period.
Excellent. Sounds good. Oh yeah, Eric, go ahead.
I do have one question. So do we need to amend, I think it's the UPWP, or put it into this current UPWP, and maybe it is in here, and I apologize. The Safe Streets for All grant as a planning, federal highway planning. Do we need to do anything like that?
If it's not in Appendix A already, then it will need to be added, but I will confirm that.
Yeah, it's a good question, Eric. I do know that any federal grants we are supposed to show in that appendix. And I think because the contract's been executed, right, we'd want to make sure that's in there. I'm not sure if they'll require that to be in place before they actually make funding available. I would hope, we can kind of do it retroactively.
We have a contract with them. I mean, maybe if we
Right.
just reference it in this upcoming UPWP, that's good enough.
Right.
I mean, I certainly don't want to make more work if we don't need to, but it's been on my mind that sometimes I know that you need to show these things. It hasn't
100%.
really come up from them though. They haven't said you need to see this in your,
Right.
UPWP.
Yeah, I do know that federal highways been pretty short staffed. Maybe they haven't had that guidance, but I think that we are showing them because MassDOT is providing the state match for all of the SS4A grants, at least for the RPAs. We do show a line in our STIP for it now.
Okay.
And I think they might view that as kind of sufficient for
That's
us,
good
so
enough.
that, yeah. But we'll check on that though. I think it's worth, I'd hate to have this get to a point where everything's all ready to go and then, we get the message that it can't be made available because it's not in
Right.
a UPWP or something like that. So yeah, I'm hoping that it's, as long as it's in the 24 UPWP, it's more of a formality than it is,
Right.
a funding issue. So I'll check on that and let folks know, but that's a good question, just to make sure we're checking all the boxes there. All right. Anything else?
One question on the
go
July
ahead.
13th meeting. What time is that at?
I'm sorry?
July
time.
13th meeting, what time?
That'll likely be at 1 p.m.
Okay,
Okay, good question. Yep.
thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? All right, it's not seeing anything, so we'll go ahead and ask for a motion and second to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right, I think without objection, we are adjourned. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you Thursday. Have a good one.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.